What if I told you that thousands of dollars sitting in your 401k right now doesn't actually belong to you? And that if you quit your job tomorrow, you'd lose almost all of it? There's a number that financial advisors love to throw around. They say you're leaving money on the table if you don't stay at a company long enough to get the full employer match. But nobody ever explains the trap hidden inside that advice. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how vesting schedules work, why they're designed the way they are, and the specific math that shows how much you're actually losing when you switch jobs. Let's start with the number in the title, $23,000. That's roughly what you'd accumulate in employer matching contributions if you earned $75,000 a year and stayed at the same company for 4 years with a typical 6% match. Sounds great, right? Free money. But here's what nobody tells you. Most companies don't use cliff vesting, where you go from 0 to 100% ownership after a set period. Instead, they use something called a graded vesting schedule. And this is where the illusion lives. With a typical graded schedule, you earn ownership of your employer match like this. Year 1, 0% vested. Year 2, 20%. Year 3, 40%. Year 4, 60%. Year 5, 80%. And finally, Year 6, 100%. Read that again. You have to stay at the same company for 6 years to fully own the money they've been contributing to your retirement account. Now think about this. The average millennial switches jobs every 2 to 3 years, which means most millennials will never, and I mean never, reach full vesting. They'll leave money behind every single time they move. Let's do the actual math so you can see how brutal this is. Say you're making $75,000. Your employer matches up to 6% of your salary. That's $4,500 per year going into your 401k from your employer. Feels amazing. You check your balance, you see it growing, you feel smart. But let's say you get a better offer at the 18-month mark. You resign. You feel good about your career move. Then you check your 401k, your vested balance drops. Because under a graded schedule at 18 months, you are 0% vested. 0. That means the entire employer match, roughly $6,750 at that point, goes back to the company. Not your money, never was. But wait, it gets worse. Let's say you stick it out to year 2. Now you're 20% vested. 20% of $9,000 is $1,800. You get to keep $1,800. The company keeps $7,200. You stayed 2 full years, and you only walk away with 20 cents on every dollar they contributed. Here's where the psychology gets dark. Companies know exactly what they're doing with these schedules. Research from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that the median tenure for workers aged 25 to 34 is just over 2 years. So the average young worker will vest at 20%, maybe 40% at most, before leaving. The graded schedule isn't designed to reward loyalty. It's designed to ensure that most employees never fully collect. And here's something that really bothers me. When you're negotiating a job offer, nobody talks about the vesting schedule. You ask about salary, benefits, PTO, maybe the match percentage, but the match percentage means almost nothing if the vesting schedule keeps you from ever owning it. A company offering a 6% match with a 6-year graded vest is actually giving you less than a company offering a 4% match with immediate vesting. Run the numbers yourself if you don't believe me. If you leave after 3 years, which most millennials do, that 6% match at graded vesting nets you only 40%, while the 4% immediately vested match is entirely yours. So what do you actually do with this information? First, before you accept any job offer, ask for the complete vesting schedule in writing, not the match percentage, the vesting schedule. These are 2 completely different things, and HR departments often conflate them intentionally. Second, factor the vesting schedule into your career decisions. If you're planning to leave in 2 years, and your current company has a graded vest, you need to calculate how much unvested money you're leaving behind and weigh that against the salary increase at the new job. A $10,000 raise might look great until you realize you're walking away from $12,000 in unvested match money. Third, if you're close to a vesting milestone, seriously consider waiting. Going from 40% vested to 60% vested could mean thousands of extra dollars in your pocket for just a few more months of patience. I'm not saying you should stay in a toxic job for vesting money. But if it's a neutral situation and you're 3 months away from the next tier, think hard about whether those 3 months are worth the payout. Fourth, understand that not all plans use the same schedule. Some companies do offer immediate vesting. Some use 3-year cliffs. Some use the 6-year graded schedule I described. The variation is massive, and it's one of the most overlooked factors in total compensation. Let me give you a framework for thinking about this. Every time you evaluate a job, calculate the effective match. That's the match percentage multiplied by your projected vesting percentage based on how long you realistically plan to stay. If you think you'll stay 2 years and the graded schedule gives you 20% vesting, a 6% match is really a 1.2% match. That's the real number, not 6, 1.2. This is why comparing job offers based on stated benefits is so dangerous. 2 offers can look identical on paper and have vastly different actual value once you account for vesting. The $23,000 illusion isn't that employer matches are bad. They're not. Free money is still free money, even if you only get a fraction of it. The illusion is believing you have more than you actually do. It's checking your 401k balance, seeing a number, and assuming that number is yours. It might not be. And finding out at the moment you're trying to leave a job is the worst possible time to learn that lesson. So here's your action plan. Check your vesting schedule this week. Not your balance, not your contribution rate, your vesting schedule. It's usually buried in your plan documents or available through your 401k provider's website. Once you know where you stand, you can make career decisions with complete information instead of assumptions. Financial literacy isn't just about knowing what a 401k is, it's about understanding the fine print that determines how much of your compensation you actually keep. And now you know. If this was helpful, there's more on the channel.